Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. It is OP Destroy, guys. Today I'm going to be covering some Mega Crab stages 22 to 20, I believe 29. Guys, this is my second attack. I did go heavy Zuka on my live stream with this one, I think, the last time I went on the first day of the Mega Crab. So today, guys, I'm going to finish it off here with the heavy Zuka. Be careful deploying your troops here, but guys, because you got a shock launcher and some mortars and some rockets that are really capable of reaching you on the deployment zone. So I almost got picked off. My Zukas almost all got picked off by that machine gun, and I almost had a tizzy, guys, because I thought, oh man, this game is over. I just wasted this attack. But sure enough, it was in my favor, and I was able to finally sneak over to the right side over there. And again, a couple of my girls did get clipped off right there and right there. But all was well here because I had enough of my troops. And then I just flared the HQ, started to begin my shock treatment here, and was able to pull off a brick battle orders. And you can see that the core, the shield was melting, and this one was toast, guys. So Mega Turtle 22 goes down just like that in 2 attacks, guys, using the heavy Zuka. Beautiful strategy, guys, with battle orders Mrs. Brick. So guys, moving on to stage 23 here. This was a solo base, guys, with a 3-5 Scorcher tank combination here, using the almighty silver bullet as well. Guys, so what happened here was this was the hacking ability, I believe, and we were able to hack the Doom Cannon right there. And I finally was able to shock that other Doom Cannon and let my Scorchers and tanks kind of go to town as they chip away the rocket launchers. And yes, there are Boom Cannons and Doom Cannons, guys, around, so I had to keep those shocked for the time being. I did hit the cryo bomb, and it did affect my troops, which I was kind of bummed about, but overall it became a great attack because the critters I popped up top were able to take out that Doom Cannon as it was distracted by those critters, which was a great help in need. So looking ahead, I tore the shield off just like that by tearing through those shield generators and begin my push, guys, up north here, thinking I got to get rid of that shock launcher and that boom cannon right there by the HQ, both of those boom cannons. So I fire barrages and do a pretty good job wiping them out on HP, and just a few artillery shells will do the job in eradicating those. So preparing my move there, guys, I had my tanks kind of just doing some more work here, facing. Look at the Bullit. I give him his energy drink, guys, and he goes to town on these defenses. So finally, once those sniper towers are toast, guys, I do hack that boom cannon right there next to the laser. I love that hacking ability, guys. It's great. You can select any defense that you want, and it is so super toast. It's awesome. So I use it to my advantage, guys, and I flare all the way down there by the laser beam, and I have enough just for another shock there, perfectly shocking that shock launcher, rocket, and that boom cannon. And then once my troops get down, guys, right here, I'm thinking to myself, I have no more GBE, and that shock launcher is going to come online and annihilate my troops by shocking them all together. But be as it may, I think Bullit and the Scorchers were out, guys, in that range, and it took out the shock launcher, and my tanks were there just tanking on that core, guys, and we take out stage 23 in a nice solo. I was shocked, but so was stage 23. So Mega Turtle stage 23 does go down, guys, with the 3 Scorcher, 4 tank combination. No, I'm sorry, 5 tank combination. Here, guys, I didn't fare so well. I was able to clear a lot out of here with the Scorcher tank. This was a 2 attack. So should have done this in 2 times, guys, because they are super slow troops, and I only say so much at the speed, guys. I am watching this. These are replays, so I am commentating over my playing. So finally here, guys, I'm using the energy drink, and this is where the troop relive. You guys can use the perk here is reliving your troops, bringing them back to life if they die, and if they don't die, Johnson's come aboard. But you guys see here, I'm trying to barrage all the key defenses that are Scorcher's and Tank's nightmare. So that would be the boom cannon, and I was just a little bit shy there. That boom cannon was actually chipping at my tank, my Scorcher, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, I thought that artillery was going to do it, but it didn't do it. So I throw a shock on it right there with the shock launcher in reach, and I was able to finally put it to rest. Bullit, again, being in the front, was taking all the damage. And what's nice about the energy drink, guys, is when Bullit's finally low on health and you re-energize him with that energy drink, his health restores pretty much almost full. So that helped a lot, guys. He was a perfect companion with the tank and Scorcher combination, because he himself was about as comparable to a Scorcher's health, and on top of that was able to revitalize himself with HP with the energy drink. So it worked out in our favor, and my tanks were able to get done a lot of work clearing. I forgot to get that cryo bomb earlier, but thankfully it wasn't able to reach my tanks, and I was able to kind of clear and do my thing. Silver Bullit just failed right there, and now my tanks were vulnerable to cannon fire. And I'm thinking to myself, all right, fine. So let's let out some revitalized troops here of my Johnsons here. And it was nice because they are one single shot defenses we are going against. And then there was Doom cannons. I'm thinking to myself, oh, okay, we are super toast. But I knew next attack, guys, was going to be a TKO. So with a shock left, I was able to get those Doom cannons for the time being, because I knew I was going to be falling victim to this level here. So I figured I could do what I can do just to clear what I can clear in the time that I had. And so I used that, and then I used another revitalizing troop here, guys, with the GBE to kind of help with these Doom cannons, because they were just completely obliterating my tanks, and I figured I could buy a few more seconds, but that shock launcher was not permitting it, and I end up perishing right there on stage 24. But you can see that I did a very good clear job, guys, and I knew next attack was going to do it, guys. So I do apologize for not speaking super loud today. It is super late at night. My family is sleeping, and knucklehead me decided to kind of just put a video together tonight. So so next, guys, next attack, my second attack and finishing attack for stage 24, I do take out that pesky shock launcher and finally deploy my troops and my other troop, the hero, Mr. Silver Bullit himself, and we make our way onward towards the HQ to put it to rest. Now you're saying, wow, Op, look at all those defenses. Those are doomed. Those are tanks and Scorcher's worst nightmares, and you're right, they are. But and look at I re-flare because my Scorchers are super fast. I should have let my tanks out first to get a head start, so I wouldn't have had to do that. So that was kind of stupid of me, but in the end, it is a victory, guys. I begin my shock treatment on those Doom cannons because I don't want them getting my troops. That was a big no-no. But again, my tanks are still so far behind. I'm thinking to myself, come on, tanks. I need a shot of serum to get them to move. So my Scorchers are kind of right now dealing the pain of those Doom cannons, but with Silver Bullit and his energy drink, guys, we were able to eradicate them before the tanks could get there. And then now it's just like, okay, the core's almost done. If we could keep those Scorchers alive to keep those tanks alive, we got this. And we sure did. But there were some casualties, guys. Obviously, our Scorchers did fall, but we had enough tanks there, and I did a little bit of revitalizing my troops there, and Mr. Johnson's came out and were able to offshoot and distract those boom cannons and cannons so my tanks could slam down the core, guys. And that's just what we did. Stage 24 in 2 attacks. I wouldn't say that's bad because that was a tough base. I don't think even Azukas could have taken that base down, because with all the rocket launchers, with all the shock launchers and mines in place, it would have been tough. So guys, stage 25 here, again, was not a solo, I don't believe. Again, we do a good clear job here going after just all these defenses. Again, nothing too bad here in the front, but with the mortars and rocket launchers, there's no problem for tanks and Scorchers, and obviously Mr. Bullit himself. I go here and shock and destroy that shock launcher on the right there, because that's, I think, where I want to go, guys. Those are where the shield generators are. I think. Or are they up top? Oh, no, they're right there in the corner right there. So basically, I get them over down here where the critter crates are, guys, and I'm smoking my troops. The tanks are super slow. My scorchers are super fast, so it was really hard to keep up with the smoking to compensate and to protect each troop. But it worked out in the end. A couple tanks did kind of peak there and got a little bit picked off. But there's my low battery. I had a low battery on my iPad, and I was so thankful it didn't just die while I was doing this, because that would have been bad. But I kind of get over here, do a clear job here, guys, of the shield generator, because I think the HP on the core was a little bit beefy, so I wanted to make sure that was taken down. And so I reflare back over here, guys. I think I smoke a few more times just to kind of keep out of reach of those cannons, just to minimize damage, guys. Didn't want them to take too much damage. And then we were going to start working on the left to go up to the core. So we did a pretty good job here, guys, because I was able to clear the cannons and pretty much some of those boom cannons. But once that shock launcher was in range over there to the left of the core, it became trouble for me, guys. It kind of stopped me in my tracks, and I was kind of bummed out. So there, with this level, guys, we were able to use the ice shield perk to kind of protect, and it didn't do that much. I probably shouldn't have activated it right there, but I did. And our troops are kind of just going up, trying to do what they can to take out most of these boom cannons and what have you. There goes my Scorcher, but with a shock in hand, I was able to subdue some of those boom cannons for a short while. But you see my tanks here kind of going at it right now, guys. I had another shock on hand, and I was able to subdue those boom cannons, but the majority of my tanks were not where I wanted them to be. So I figured let's let some critters out to distract the boom cannons maybe a little bit longer up top there while the critters come out. And it did help for a second. We were able to get rid of that boom cannon, I think, right there. And then I shock, and I don't know why I shocked there. I should have reflared, but I reflared a little too late, guys, and that was my doom. I reflared right where that shock launcher was shocking my troops, and that was my big mistake right there. And it cost me this battle, obviously. I really didn't plan on soloing this base, but it was close. I was, not close, but it was a good clear. I was happy with the attack overall because I was able to clear the shield generators, and I knew next attack, guys, was going to take down this base. So my troops die a slow death, especially with the shock launcher shocking them, and that boom cannon pops that last tank, and down goes OP Destroy on the first attack, guys. So the second attack was a no-brainer. Thinking to myself, let the bullet out first because he can take some damage. Let the tanks out, then the scorchers last. That was my problem before. I barraged the poo-poo out of that shock launcher because I did not want him in play, and I knew that if I could get him out, then it was just a few shock treatments, and it was over. So I basically smoke and cover Bullit to protect him from all the damage, guys. And once the smoke dissipated, I was able to shock the boom cannons and everything in between, and our tanks were able to do their job and knock out this core, guys. You can see here, I got the Bullit on it. He was going to be taking the damage, and threw the ice shield on there just because we had some GBE, and down goes stage 25, guys, just like that. 2 attacks, not too bad. I was super pumped about that. I don't have all the GBE in the world, guys, otherwise I probably would have ran a heavy Zuka to the core. I think the chicken did that and was able to solo that base, so kudos to him. I don't have the GBE he has because I have a bunch of Power Stone chance statues, so kudos to him. But I was happy with that, guys, to do that in 2 attacks. Really was. So stage 26, guys, here. This was, I believe, a solo. Not by much, guys. I really thought it was coming down to time. My troops were pretty much almost all dead. But we were able to get this, guys, in 1 attack. So just throwing critters, kind of having a party here. Just mowing down sniper towers and boom cannons. There was a doom cannon right there, as you see on the center there. I'm thinking to myself, all right, I got a lot of GBE, gotta protect. Oh, this is with the canister of speed serum we guys got. This thing rocks. Look how fast my tanks move with that speed serum. It's like Brick and the Scorchers were on were on Silver Bullet's energy drink, guys, and they were just tearing through. I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, look at all those boom mines right there. I do not want my tanks running over, so I'm thinking to myself, great. Look, I just lost a tank to the boom mines, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, come on, Op, put your thinking cap on, and let's get this ball rolling. So I'm shocking all those mortars and that shock launcher right there, guys, and I throw another canister of speed serum to get moving and clearing those defenses before the shock wears off. And I unleash my artillery on that cryo bomb because do not want to be in the way of that when that explodes. And my troops are just kind of making their way up and down. Got some more GBE, guys, and another speed serum to the test, and our troops make a nice little push towards the HQ. The health on the tanks weren't super duper fun to look at because they were kind of minimally dead already, but I was able to eventually clear and take this base down. Again, guys, not really, I mean, you'll see that it came down to the ticker and it came down to my health of my tanks, but we were able to get this base, and it was something else. Look at Bullit, guys, taking the damage of the boom cannon and the cannon together. My tanks were there to assist him and take down that cannon right there, but look at him take that damage while my tanks were starting to shoot at the core. This guy is OP, and I couldn't be more to have him on my team. He's still taking the damage, but then will fall. I fire a barrage at that boom cannon to take it out, guys. And I owe this win and victory to the Bullit himself, because my tanks, you look at right now, I got rockets. I'm like sending a last ditch barrage in to help with this, thinking, come on tanks, pull through for me. It's super close. And I was just like, oh my gosh, crossing my fingers, praying, doing everything. I had my other two tanks below there in shock territory for the shock launcher, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, this is coming down to the wire. The shock launcher lays off another shock on my tanks, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, hitting my forehead thinking, just a few more blasts, guys, come on. And that one tank up there is firing while the other one that is super low on health is targeted by the shock launcher, and finally that last tank hits off an artillery shell and takes out stage 26, guys. So seriously, I was sweating bullets there, and yeah. So moving on to stage 27, guys, this was a 2-attack also. Look at the shock launchers. There's shock launchers everywhere, boom cannons everywhere, and I just knew I needed to put on a really good first attack, so that way I could clean up shop on my second attack and take it out. I try to, at best, if I know I can't solo a base, take out what I can, clear a nice path, and then come again the second attack and take it home. I don't like doing 3 attacks because it's just a waste of attacks, but sometimes you just got to, guys. So right here, I let my Scorchers and tanks out to kind of clear a nice area here. Destroying the cryo bombs, guys. I got my Scorcher caught in it right there, but was able to re-flare back down, and yeah, begin to push the right side, cryo bomb the other cryo bombs. I usually forget to do those things, and by the time I do it, my troops are in its path, and it stinks. Here, guys, we were able to dispatch the turret here, the special ability turret. So I was throwing a couple of those around to kind of help distract these troops. And I did a good job, guys. I think I did a pretty decent job here. Again, my gunboat energy when it's full, I think, was 147. It's not super much, so I had to work with what I had. And not to mention, guys, I have to use a lot of gunboat energy to deploy my tanks and Scorchers, so I was pretty thrilled with what I was able to accomplish here. So living up with my tanks, and there's the Bullit, guys, taking the rocket damage, taking the sniper tower, the cannon. He finally does go down, and you know, kudos to him. He was my meat shield for a while. We were able to get that shield generator down, and again, basically my tanks were stuck in a rut here with that shock launcher just kind of pelting them to death, but the Bullit had a few little bit of life in them, and we were able to take down this shock launcher, guys. It was pretty awesome. The Bullit did a wonderful job and took it out just before he perished. And setting off that cryo bomb is going to keep my tanks subdued. My bad. They were frozen to death. Pretty much, they die a slow, frozen death, guys. And we will end 27. There goes my low battery again. And I'm thinking I got to end this soon because I don't want my iPad dying on me while I'm playing. And slowly but surely, guys, the boom cannons and everybody will take me out. Throw in a last-ditch effort medkit to kind of help, but it did not. And we did what we could do, and I knew next attack was going to be a finish for me. So there goes stage 27, guys. A nice clear, in my opinion, with the Skanks. So finally moving in, guys, for the kill. I'm like, all right, OP, make sure you take out those cryo bombs first. We don't want to deal with them while we're attacking the core. So waiting for my Scorchers and tanks to get out, I flare them far right. Rocket power is not going to really affect my troops at this level. I have my troop health statue boosted, guys, and I'm thinking to myself, all right, let's wait for our troops to get up there, and then we'll finally flare up to that shield generator area right over there and begin shock treatment on the boom cannon. And I think I do shock that shock launcher to prohibit him from preventing my troops from doing their job, and that is destroying their defenses. So I guess I finally shock him after the tanks finally get up, guys, and we do a good job here ridding all these troops. I got the Bullit in front, which is nice, shielding those tanks, so that shock launcher was going to get him, but I then had a turret, guys, right there for the shock launcher to kind of distract on right now, and it did a great job. As you can see, the shock launcher was distracted by that turret I threw out and dispatched, and we were able to take it down. The Bullit was going to take it down, and our tank took down the other shield generator, and it did everything we wanted it to do, guys. And finally, our tanks were able to take down that shield gen, and the shield disappears just like that, and my tanks were caught blasting that core, being untouched because my Scorchers, the Bullets, were the meat shields. And guys, it's going to take down stage 27. Boom, just like that. And we take it down in 2, guys. So again, I'm pretty happy with the results. Moving on to stage 28. This one here, guys, was a solo because there was so much GBE to accumulate on the way. Look at the GBE, guys, everywhere. You got critter crates, you got only rocket launchers, you got the Bullet. Look at the rocket launchers are all destroying Bullet, but look at his health, guys. It's not really dwindling, and it gives my troops, my tanks, my Scorchers, everything in their power to just tear through these defenses, guys. And look at the GBE I'm accumulating by the moment. So I'm taking advantage of that, using this to destroy the shock launchers, destroy those boom cannons over there in the corner. You definitely want to get rid of those because the shock launcher, again, you do not want messing with your troops. And so I do everything in my GBE power to get rid of him. Go for the boom cannons as well. And look at the GBE, guys, to collect here. All those canisters, the machine guns, I'm not too worried about. And we just kind of chug through this level, guys, clearing everything in it on our way. Finally, throw the cryo bomb. I totally, that's the cryo bomb we had for this one right here. I threw it to slow down that boom cannon. I'm thinking to myself, there's no way this is going to be a solo. Look how many more boom cannons over there by the core I have to take out. And I was shocked, guys, literally was shocked by this one, but we were able to slam through this base pretty cinched. I mean, as we get more over to those boom cannons by the core, you see a lot more GBE to be accumulated, guys. So finally our tanks and the Bullets make their way. I was pretty sad that the Bullet wasn't ahead of those guys, but I threw some critters out to distract the boom cannons, and I shocked the rockets to kind of minimize them shooting the critters. Threw more critters out, guys, and let my troops kind of get up and take out these shield generators. And once the shields were taken out, I hopefully was like, come on, Bullet, get in front and take the damage. And he was making his way, guys, making his way in front of the tanks, which is what I wanted to see. And look at him just take the damage like a bullet, guys. He was doing just that. And I had some shocking power, guys. Again, with the GBE you accumulate on this level, it's beautiful. You just got everything you need to do to get the job done. And I threw more critters out to distract, guys, while my tanks were taking down these boom cannons one by one. And the core is smelting as some of my tanks are just like blasting it, guys. And the Bullit, look at him leading the pack right in front of the core, taking the damage of the cannon and boom cannon, guys. And again, the silver Bullit will save the day, I will say, because he can take so much damage, guys. He can take so much damage right there. So that's gonna do it, guys, all the way to stage 28. And I'll bring you some more content, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching.